What's going on, craft beer lovers? Today I'm reviewing a beer outside my normal bailiwick, if that's the right word, and this is the Traquair House Ale. This is a Scotch Ale. It's from Scotland. Now, you might or might not know this. Probably you don't, because why would you? But a lot of my heritage is Scottish. I have grown up in Texas, grown up in America my whole life, but so it's more of, I guess, a spiritual connection in some ways, because I certainly haven't been raised in Scotland. I did spend a semester in University of Edinburgh for part of my college, and so I spent some time in Scotland. I've explored the area a little bit, but I'm definitely still a tourist to the region. I do feel kind of a sense of connection there as much as I can, being raised in Texas. So I was excited to find this in my local craft beer store. There's all sorts of interesting things that appeal to me about this bottle. You know, I like to view the whole package of the beer and see how the whole experience goes. It's so silly, but I love the font. It reminds me of how, I guess, typography is part of what helped Steve Jobs make Apple successful at the beginning, and this bottle makes me understand why. It's just a beautiful mixture of different fonts and typeface. Really gives sort of an air of kind of an ancient old, I don't know, it just feels Scottish. I don't know how else to explain it. So, Traquair House Ale, ale fermented in oak barrels. So we got some barrel aging going on. A handmade ale brewed in the ancient brew house of the oldest inhabited house in Scotland. It's 7.2% ABV, and this is what some is often called a wee heavy. And in fact, this is being identified on its own bottle as a wee heavy. Let me read this off the side. Traquair House Ale is a traditional Scotch ale or wee heavy, produced at the tiny Traquair House Brewery, located in the oldest inhabited house in Scotland. Brewed in a 1738 copper kettle and fermented in oak vessels, it is rich, complex, and deep, with firm but elegant flavor. Brewed by Traquair House, Innerleithen, Pebbleshire, Scotland. So clearly I know how to read my Scottish place names. Yeah. And on the back, again, the color scheme is also real pretty. It's sort of subdued, but gets your attention. The gold, metallic gold, looks real nice, and the cream, kind of the cream white, and the, I don't know, colorblind. I think it's like dark green, almost forest green or something. On the back, it says, the famous Bear Gates. It's got a little picture of a gate. It says, the famous Bear Gates guarding the approach to Traquair House near Peebles have been closed since 1745, when the last person to pass through them was Bonnie Prince Charlie. Interesting. Now, when was this brewed? I can't read this thing. It looks like March 29. I don't know. I don't know if this is best enjoyed by or best brewed on. So I can't tell when this was packaged. Could be really old. Could be fresh. I have no clue. And just for reference, I don't usually cover prices all that much, but this has it on it, so I might as well say $8.50. So, you know, as an imported beer, as a handmade and aged in oak, it's not surprising it's a little more expensive, but I got it because it just appealed to me, and I was excited to try. I think this is only my second Scotch ale ever. The other one was the Bastard, by Founders. I can't remember, something Bastard, that is their Scotch ale. So I remember I didn't love it. I enjoyed it. I remember specifically that I drank that other one while watching Braveheart, and that's a little silly, I know, but hey, what are you gonna do? This style, I already know ahead of time, is very, very malt heavy, and very, very, essentially there's no hops at all. And the reason for that is that Scotland can't grow hops. Completely the wrong climate, completely the wrong growing situation. So Scotch ale has always relied on very, very, I guess, malty brews. And with the Scotch climate being what it is, it also tends to favor the kind of beer that you might enjoy more on a cold winter night. Stormy, wet, rainy, all the classic hallmarks of Scottish weather. Well, I'm in Texas. It's spring in Austin, and it's only slightly cool outside tonight. I thought I might as well drink this now because it's only going to be getting warmer, and I don't think this is the kind of beer that does great in hot weather. So I don't have that much else to say about it. I think if you want to know more about the wee heavy style, the Scotch ale style, you should do some further research. It's very interesting, and it's kind of it's been more adopted by brewers in other countries. I guess in Belgium it's sort of a popular style. And I think the reason for that is it's a very distinctive style, offers a lot of room for creative interpretation. But without further ado, let's get this guy open, let's pour it, and as always, I'm going to take a picture for my Instagram, at Craft Christian Reviews, which I want you to go find and join me over there on Instagram. So let's pour it, I'll pause and get that picture, and then we will do some smelling and tasting. Oh, that's an interesting color. It's actually, crazy, very interesting color. I'll say more about it, but as the colorblind one, I'm not the best. This is a very, very interesting looking beer. It's like red. It's like cranberry color. Interesting. Well, I'm going to go get my picture. I'll be right back. So we've seen this thing has a very interesting color look. It's not completely opaque. You can see my hand moving back through there. It's got this very interesting, just barely can see through it. Yeah, it smells like the kind of beer I never get for myself. It's extremely malty. I don't even know what else much to say about it. I don't really smell the barrel on the nose. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just extremely, that's about as malty as you can get. And I do like its visual appearance, very appealing. And it even just seems to fit the, I mean, doesn't that just look good together? You go find me on Instagram, you see the picture I took, see how well they match each other. Let's give it a taste. That is as malty as beer can get, which is not really to my taste. It's incredible. This is phenomenal, I would say. I hope I'm right about that, because I'm not as acquainted with this style, but you can tell it's quality. I mean, it's just, it tastes like fresh and malty, which is sort of different than what I usually, because I associate freshness with hoppiness. It feels great, like on your mouth. It's more carbonated than I would expect. I've been told that a lot of times this style is not so carbonated, but you can clearly see this one definitely is. There's a ton of bubbles lingering at the top of the bottle after I poured two. You don't really taste the alcohol right off. It's surprisingly a little more bitter than I would expect. It's not a bitter beer by my standards at all. It's actually a sweet, almost sweet, but it's got all sorts of interesting little tastes in there. But I'm going to say something that sounds a little weird, and overall, actually, the first impression and one of the main impressions I get is almost like you took a lager and 100x'd it. Like, I don't know how to explain. It's like if you took a lager, which I don't really love lagers very much, and you just enhanced it and made it stronger and more powerful and prettier and more robust and more interesting and more complex and stronger, and just, it's so far from what I usually drink, which are the hoppy IPAs. It's also interesting because I almost thought this would be kind of like a stout, but it's nothing like a stout. It's nothing like a stout at all. It's not, it doesn't taste like coffee, doesn't taste like chocolate. It's not nearly as bitter as a lot of stouts, and the truth is a lot of stouts have a lot of hops in them. This has no flavors added. You know, I've had a lot of crazy dessert stouts. This is not as strong as an imperial stout. So this does not remind me really of a stout. This is something of its own. So I'm going to kind of wrap it up there because I feel like I'm going to go in circles. I'm not qualified to discuss this beer. I hope I've given you a little sense of a few interesting things about the history, about especially the experience of drinking it. I'm definitely going to be savoring this one. I think the high points of this beer are the absolutely beautiful visuals. It's great to drink too, but the visuals are what really, I just am looking at this frame in the camera, and I know it's not exactly high production value, of course, but it just looks right. I don't know. It looks, I don't want to say respectable or something. It looks like it has dignity, a lot of dignity in this beer, and it feels the same way when you're drinking it. So if any of this sounds good to you, I say go pick one up. I definitely can tell this is a high quality beer, even though it's not my main style. I like it, man. I want more of this. I'm not going to be in a rush to finish it, and I'm probably not going to go and run out and buy another one. It's, again, it's just not my style, but it's good. So if you like this kind of content, give me a subscribe, a comment, a like. I've mentioned I've kind of been bringing this out more. I want to tell you, I'm not totally sure I'm going to continue this channel for too much longer. It's fun. I enjoy it. I learn a lot. But, you know, any subscriptions, any comments, any thumbs up, they mean a lot to me right now. I'm trying to decide, is this a project I should shelve and just enjoy drinking the beers by myself or with my friends and not bother filming it and uploading it and editing it and making Instagram. It says, like, it's fun, but it's work, and I only want to do it if anyone's, you know, looking at it. Otherwise, I'll just enjoy the beers on their own, and that's fine too. So anyway, what I'm saying is, if you want me to keep doing this, it will mean a lot to me if you do subscribe, if you leave me some notice that this is interesting to you. It means a lot. Other than that, go find me on Instagram, @CraftChristianReviews, and enjoy whatever you're drinking. Take care of your loved ones. I will see you in the next review, and thanks for being here. Peace out.